This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Police heighten vigilance against the criminals in West Kingston. The Police High Command is warning criminals in the Kingston Western Division against carrying out any attacks on members of the security forces. The High Command says it is aware of information being circulated that criminals in the area, particularly in Trenchtown, are planning attacks on the security forces. According to High Command, the threats stem from the recent arrest of a wanted man in the division. It is warning persons with any such intentions to refrain from carrying out any such attack, as it says the security forces will take the necessary action and apply the necessary training to defend themselves and law-abiding citizens. We will not relent in our quest to pursue wanted persons and other criminal suspects, said Senior Superintendent Michael Phipps, commanding officer for the Kingston Western Division. Members of the public are also advised to refrain from interfering with the police whenever an arrest is being made. NCB employee charged in multi-million-dollar fraud. The National Commercial Bank employee who was arrested in a multi-million-dollar fraud has been charged. He's Arsenio Johnson, 32, a retail support officer who works at one of the bank's offices in St. Andrew. He has been charged with larceny as a servant, breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act, and the Cybercrimes Act. Johnson was arrested on Wednesday by members of the fraud squad of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. It's alleged that between January 2020 and July 2022, Johnson carried out a number of unauthorized transfers of monies from the bank's suspense account to two accounts associated with him. Based on preliminary investigations, $5.8 million has been defrauded. However, an audit is being conducted to ascertain the exact value, a police statement said on Friday. Johnson was interviewed in the presence of his attorney on Friday, after which he was charged. He is scheduled to appear before the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on July 20. Corruption case against the Reid co-accused put on hold pending judicial review hearing. The High Court has ordered that the corruption case against the former Education Minister, Ruel Reid, Caribbean Maritime University President Fritz Pinnock, and their co-accused in the CMU Education Minister case be put on hold pending a judicial review hearing. This was disclosed when the case was called up in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Friday. In March, the Supreme Court dismissed an application by the Financial Investigations Division to set aside an order that stayed the fraud trial of the 5 accused. Attorney Richard Small, who is representing the FID, is to make an application to appeal the ruling on September 26. Bail has been extended for Mr. Pinnock, Mr. Reid, his wife Sharon, their daughter Sherelle, and the counsel for the Brownstown Division, Kim Brown Lawrence. They are scheduled to return to court on October 3. They were charged in connection with a fraud and a corruption probe into transactions at the Caribbean Maritime University. Justice Courtney Day granted leave in June 2021 for Mr. Pinnock and Mr. Reid to apply to the Judicial Review Court to quash the decision of Senior Parish Judge Chester Crooks for the trial to proceed. Judge Crooks then recused himself from the trial, stating that it would be a conflict of interest. The applicants are contending that Judge Crooks should have disqualified himself from the ruling in the matter and are seeking to have his decision quashed. Jamaica's unemployment rate hits a record low. Jamaica's unemployment rate has hit a new record low, according to the Labor Force survey conducted by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica in April. The unemployment rate was 6%. That was 3 percentage points lower than the unemployment rate recorded in April 2021. Unemployment among women was 7.6%, a 3.3% decline from last year. Carol Coy, Director General of Statin, said male unemployment fell by 2.8% to 4.7%.
The number of males outside the labor force declined by 8,900, while the number of females declined by 13,700. The overall number of persons in the labor force in April 2022 was 1,350,300, and this was an increase of 1.9% or 24,900 persons. The number of females in the labor force increased by 14,900, while the male labor force increased by 10,000 persons.
Reacting to the starting data, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark noted that there has been an increase in employment in various sectors such as construction, business process outsourcing, and food processing. He said the government would continue to pursue policies that are consistent with economic and the jobs recovery,
such as construction and BPO, tourism, entertainment and food services, etc. The government of Jamaica will continue to pursue policies that are consistent with economic and jobs recovery.
Minister labels frequent motor vehicle crashes a disaster. The frequency with which traffic crashes occur has pushed the government to include a response in their disaster preparedness plans, according to Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond McKenzie. We consider the spate of accidents on our roads a disaster, and we have incorporated that into our disaster response program right across the country. I would like to urge those persons who use the motorcycle to get involved in the various programs being undertaken by the government, he said, during a disaster preparedness town hall meeting in White House, Westmoreland, Thursday. There have been various workshops and the safety gear has been provided to motorcycle users, among other initiatives. It is not only creating hardship for families, but it is costing the country an enormous amount of money for medical care in our public hospitals, the minister said of the frequent road crashes. In agreeing with Mackenzie's assessment of the gravity of the situation, Deputy Superintendent of Police for the Westmoreland Division, Adrian Hamilton, said his parish has an even bigger problem than the rest of the country. In relation to our traffic accidents within the parish, along with the crime situation, that can be categorized as a serious disaster, he said, adding that there have been 27 traffic fatalities in the parish so far this year, with 12 motorcyclists among those killed. He noted that although there has been a decrease in the number of fatalities seen last year, 36 deaths including 18 motorcyclists, they were still seeing risky behavior such as the removal of motorcycle mirrors and a brazen disregard for the rules of the road. When we embark on traffic enforcement initiatives, the main objective is to modify behavior. On average, over 450 tickets within Westmoreland are issued weekly. A significant percentage of that is for motorcycle drivers who don't wear protective helmets, Hamilton said. According to the Road Safety Unit, since the start of the year, 251 individuals have died compared to 255 last year, a 2% reduction, but according to Jason Stewart, Road Safety Officer with the National Road Safety Council, this is still too much. Jamaica strengthening capacity to combat human trafficking. The Jamaican government is strengthening the national framework to combat human trafficking. Development of a national policy and the plan of action on trafficking in persons is being carried out through the National Task Force Against the Trafficking in Persons. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, Courtney Williams, spoke about the initiatives on Wednesday while addressing the third bilateral dialogue for the United States-Jamaica Child Protection Compact Partnership. Mr. Williams said the government is providing more comfortable and safer spaces for survivors of human trafficking, particularly vulnerable groups. He said the new policy framework will allow the task force to gain greater support from other ministries and agencies in strengthening efforts against human trafficking and to provide assistance for vulnerable persons. Woman who staged her kidnapping to get money offered bail. The woman who is accused of staging her kidnapping in an attempt to get $1 million from her family was on Friday offered bail in the sum of $100,000. Shamika Miller, 27, who made her first appearance in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court, is scheduled to return on September 8. Ms. Miller is charged with extortion and creating public mischief. It's alleged that on July 4, Ms. Miller conspired with other persons and claimed that she had been kidnapped. Her family was sent a video which showed a gun being pointed to her head. When the demand for money to secure her release was not met, Ms. Miller reported that she was freed on Spanish Town Road in Kingston. A probe was carried out and it was discovered that Ms. Miller fabricated the report of her kidnapping. She was arrested and later charged by detectives assigned to the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.